Hello and welcome to Master Your Mindset with your host, Isis Foster. This is the place to be for anyone who is on a personal development journey. I will be sharing with you my own mindset hacks and personal past experiences. Please subscribe and share if you enjoy what I'm about to share with you and you've taken value from it. You never know who may need to hear it. Today I'm going to be talking about the people we have in our lives and whether or not we've met them on purpose, or whether there's a particular reason they've been sent into our lives, or whether it's just a coincidence that they are now in our lives. It's such an interesting topic, and I have had this conversation with my inner circle very recently, and it could be in terms of relationships, friendships, or people you just meet in the street and then you click with automatically and organically. I want to know whether there is an actual reason behind us meeting certain people, and if so, is there anything we can do to alter that, to change that, to meeting better people in our lives? So for me personally, I am definitely somebody who feels somebody else's energy before they even open their mouth. I am someone who can gauge what someone will be like just by seeing them, not even necessarily them saying anything to me. And I know I have a lot of friends as well who are exactly the same. They go off people's energies and the ambience that they bring to a situation. Have you ever felt that you have met people previously in your life or currently who you kind of feel were sent to you on purpose? Like they play a role in whatever that may be. It could be potentially to send you a lesson. It could be to show you that there's more out there for you, or it could be someone who just makes you feel so calm and relaxed when you're around them. I know from my own personal experiences, there have been so many people over my adult life and also in my childhood as well, where I've met them and automatically I have thought, you were meant to be in my life. Like I just have clicked with them straight away. And it honestly is the most indescribable feeling. It feels so good when you meet someone who is on the same energy frequency as you and gives as much to that friendship or relationship as you do. And it is quite rare to come across those people who do match you on that frequency, but when you do, it's literally the best thing ever. But then let's flip that round a second and remember there's also people who will never match where you are on an energy scale. There are people who you are around or who have come into your life who you may feel like you were at a very high frequency energy wise when you met them, and ever since you've known them, they've almost like pulled you down. Those people are called energy vacuums, and we all have them in our lives, and the best thing to do is to really stay clear and limit the amount of time you spend around them. And let's just focus on the people that lift us up. Let's focus on the people that make us feel so good when we're around them and match us where we are on an energy scale, because those people are diamonds and they don't come around very often. I've actually spoken about this in a previous podcast. They don't come around very often, but when they do, it literally feels like a breath of fresh air. And I always think that every path that we cross in life, whether that be literally someone crossing the road on the street or just passing us in a shopping centre or pulling up to us in a supermarket in the car next to us, or whether that's like something deeper like a friendship or a family member or a relationship, every single person we come in contact with, we are 100% supposed to have come in contact with that person, whether or not they physically do anything to us, whether or not they speak to us, even just passing us in the street. Like we are actually meant to be exactly where we're supposed to be at that exact time. So just know that everyone that you meet is playing a role in your story in some shape or form. You may not know what that role is at the time. In fact, 9 times out of 10, you won't know for a very long time. But it's such a beautiful moment when you look back and you can say, oh, in hindsight, if this hadn't happened or if I hadn't have met this person, then that wouldn't have happened. And that happens so much in life. It's like the universe connects dots for you, and our life is one big dot to dot, and the universe, as you live your life, will start connecting those dots. And it may not be exactly where you are, but it's following a short trail behind you, and everything is planned out exactly how it's supposed to be. And it's on you to do your best to make sure that you live the best life that you absolutely can. So I always think this as well in relationships. Have you ever... I'm going to go into a little bit of detail, not too much, because this isn't actually my story. This is from my friend's perspective. One of my friends is really struggling to date right now. She seems to always be going for like these bad boy types and she never has any success. So I've told her to kind of change her type, but obviously she's adamant not to because that is her type. And yes, it is really hard to change your type. But do you ever feel like sometimes people are sent to you to teach you a lesson, and if that lesson isn't learned, they will continue to be sent to you until you finally learn whatever the lesson is that you're meant to have learned? Because this happens so much, not only in romantic relationships, but also friendships too. I remember when I was at school, I always wanted to be friends with the cool girls, the popular girls, and they were literally so horrible to me at school. And I don't know what it was. I think it was maybe the fact that they didn't want to hang around with me that made me want to hang around with them even more, but there was something about it. And then one day I remember saying to myself, I'm sick of this. Like, I deserve to have friends who actually want to hang around with me. So I branched off, got a whole new friendship group, and life just became so much easier. But it was only at that point where I decided, like, we need to change the narrative here. Like, I need to go off and do something completely different to what I'm used to in order for my life to get better. And that happens in romantic relationships too. I know that my friend probably isn't the only one out there who goes for the same type over and over and over again and then isn't surprised when it doesn't work out. Think about it now. Do you have friends who go for the same kind of type of person who lets them down and isn't reliable and isn't trustworthy and isn't loyal? Or is that person you? Do you go for those kind of people? Maybe it's time to look at that and say, that isn't working for me. What can I do? What is in my control? What do I have power over right now to change and make this situation better for myself? Because you have two options in life. You can either play the victim, where you sit there and say, this relationship isn't working out for me. Like, he's not right for me. She's not right for me. All of these things you can say to yourself, or you could say, I'm going to take control. And yes, that person isn't right for me, but I can go out there and find someone who is right for me and someone who's going to make my life a better and happier place to be. So learn from previous mistakes. Everyone that you have met in the past is teaching you something in some shape or form. If you've been in a situation where you have felt downgraded and put in a box and limited to what you can do or what you can say or how you can act, like, that relationship is not healthy. We are all individuals. We all have amazing qualities and factors about our personalities that we should be showing off. And the most freeing thing in life is to find someone who allows you to show off whatever talent it is that you have to the world, because we all have talents. Some of us may not know what they are right now. Some of us may be very sure of what they are right now, but not sure how to project them out into the world. And some of us may know what they are, but are being told by our partner to not do that. If you're in that situation, run as fast as you can, because we only have a limited time on this earth. And do you want to be in your deathbed thinking about all those amazing things you could have potentially offered the world if it wasn't for that person? Because I know I certainly wouldn't. So much for tuning in and listening today. I really appreciate all of the feedback and reviews I've been given. If you would like to, please do share this on your stories on Instagram and tag me at IsisFoster1. You never know who may need to hear what I've shared with you today. Have a beautiful day.